Ever made a mistake you just can't let go of? Running a moving company means I am often the guy who helps people transition from one chapter of their lives to the next. One consultation stands out. A woman from a lovely home in a good neighborhood was moving to a less desirable part of town. Her new place was smaller and much of her furniture was destined for storage. She had 2 young children, and even some of their toys were being sold. The only unusual request was about a large freezer in her basement. She stressed the importance of keeping its contents frozen during the move, which I assured her wouldn't be an issue with the outlet in my truck. Despite her slight nervousness, we finalized the arrangements. On moving day, my team and I efficiently packed up their belongings. The mother and her children seemed emotionally drained. They left for their new home ahead of us, and she gave me one last reminder about the precious cargo in the freezer. We loaded it last, as planned. However, just as I was about to plug it in, I received a frantic call from my wife. Our daughter had broken her ankle. Distracted and consumed by worry, I closed the truck doors without a second thought, completely forgetting the freezer. The drive to their new place was a blur of anxiety about my daughter. It wasn't until we arrived and I opened the truck that the horrifying realization struck me. The freezer was unplugged. An hour had passed, and I could only hope the contents were still intact. We moved it inside and plugged it in. When I found the woman to explain my oversight, the words barely left my lips before her face paled and her children erupted in screams. They rushed past me into the basement, their eyes fixed on the freezer. What I found inside was just a pool of water. The woman and her children dissolved into inconsolable sobs. Through her tears, she shared a heartbreaking story. They had to move because she could no longer afford their family home after her husband. The children's father had passed away the previous year. The day before he died, he and the kids had built a snowman together. When they returned from the funeral, the melting snowman became a painful reminder of their loss. In a desperate attempt to preserve their memory, she had bought the freezer, and together, they'd carefully placed the snowman inside, believing they could keep it forever. The first question her children asked about the move was whether the snowman could come too. It was the only thing that made leaving their home bearable. My careless mistake had destroyed their precious memory. Despite her tears, she still tried to pay me, but I couldn't accept it. The image of her daughter's anguished cry upon seeing the melted snowman, the tangible symbol of her father, is something that haunts me. It was a single moment of distraction on my part that caused irreparable pain.